January 6th offended, forced to live here in D.C. The Supreme Court just overturned my only felony, so I spent 3 years in prison for nothing. I'll be able to sue for wrongful imprisonment, but yeah, this country and other countries need Trump in here. I don't think the war in Ukraine would have been going on. I don't think we'd have this chaos going on over in Israel and the surrounding countries. I don't think fentanyl would be crossing into our borders anywhere near what it's going through now. I don't think we'd have as many illegal migrants coming in here, gang members coming in here. I don't think we'd be having this child trafficking that's going on.
It was exciting to see another female candidate, this much momentum behind her this time. But some of the key issues that we all find this commonplace in as Americans, she kind of wasn't hitting it, the ball in that direction. And Trump, I would say about Trump, as many things as there were on the table, he tried to cover as many bases as he could. My own personal thoughts just coming down here to the National Mall is, to the victor come the spoils. We all got to do our part to keep America great.
Right now, I'm in shock. I'm completely disgusted with America. I cannot believe he won the popular vote.
So if you were to give Kamala Harris a report card over the last 4 years, what grade would you give her?
I couldn't give her a better report card. She clearly enunciated everything she was going to do, everything she had done.
Can you give me one example that you can cite that she did that you're really happy with? And where are you from?
Brandon Fellows, from Albany, New York, but I'm January 6th offended, forced to live here in D.C. 50-mile radius, so yeah.
So tell me about your thoughts about the future upcoming election.
Well, I really obviously have, besides wanting Trump in here, less wars, less fentanyl crossing the border, less child trafficking, I would really like it because, first of all, he said he was going to pardon the people that were nonviolent that day, like myself. So that would be nice. I know the Supreme Court just overturned my only felony, so I spent 3 years in prison for nothing. I'll be able to sue for wrongful imprisonment, but yeah, this country and other countries need Trump in here. But specifically, they held us in a domestic terrorist wing, no fruit for nearly 2 years, no family visitations, no sunlight for many, many months, solitary confinement. I'm pissed off. People can look at it however they want, but I will say I think more lives would have been saved. I don't think the war in Ukraine would have been going on. I don't think we'd have this chaos going on over in Israel and the surrounding countries. I don't think fentanyl would be crossing into our borders anywhere near what it's going through now. I don't think we'd have as many illegal migrants coming in here, gang members coming in here. I don't think we'd be having this child trafficking that's going on, and I don't think we'd have I know Trump had a lot of debt the first time around, but I believe that was to undo a lot of Obama's mess. I don't think his second term would have been as messy. Now, unfortunately, we've got to do a lot of stuff to fix up another 4 years of an Obama-like regime. So I think there'll be some spending in that. But I think the stuff that he's implementing and or talking about implementing, such as Elon Musk jumping in to say, hey, do we really need you? Do we really need you? What was that program called? The government efficiency? Something along those lines. I'm totally on board with that.
My name is Isaiah. I'm from Chicago.
And so what are your feelings on the upcoming election?
It's not the most exciting election, I would say. I don't think it's anyone's true choices, but, we're making the best of it that we can. I'm just hoping that there's no, political violence or anything on either side, but both sides are getting crazy now, so who knows,
If you were to place a wager, who do you think's going to win tomorrow's election?
I'm not happy to say this, but I think Trump's going to win. I'm a Democrat registered, but there's just a lot of issues with both candidates that we don't really feel like. I'm Jewish, and I don't necessarily feel as though very confident about the Democratic Party's continuing relationship with shutting down anti-Semitism, but I see that on the right too, and that's my main thing, I'd say.
Are you a resident here in Washington, D.C.?
Yeah, I'm a resident.
Do you go to school here?
No, I work here.
Okay, great. Yeah. And you say you're Gen Z. How old are you?
23.
Awesome.
Hi, my name is Marcelo Ali Sanchez. I'm a journalist based in D.C. and I work for Hispan TV, and I'm also a freelance journalist.
What are your greatest concerns and thoughts and feelings with the upcoming election?
Well, a lot of people are saying that this is an existential election. but not only for Americans, but also for the rest of the world, because you have to remember that the whole world is watching right now and waiting for the results of this election, because the US, it's so important to the rest of the world, not only because of the economy and the dollar, but also because the United States defines the multilateral world and the connection that we have with other countries. So the people around the world are very interested to know what's going to be the next step of the United States. They expect that the new president is going to be magnanimous and exercise justice in so many fronts. We have a war in Ukraine where the current president have been spending all the money of America into some kind of wild goose chase against Russia. And we have to understand that Russians are not the enemy. The enemy is the corruption inside of our country. And also we have a war against Palestinians and tons of money being sent to Israel, where we have so many priorities and urgent necessities here in the United States. We just saw the hurricane and so many people lost their homes, lost everything. And just months before or weeks before, the federal government took all these funds from FEMA, and instead of sending this money to the people who really need, Americans who really need it, this money was sent to Israel and Ukraine. And I don't think that's fair. And as a citizen, I believe that our government should prioritize citizens first, America first.
My name is Rob, and I am from Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, I've supported Donald Trump since he came down the escalator, and I support Donald Trump today. I am more concerned with the spiritual darkness that has infiltrated this country than ever before, and I have 2 little girls, and I want to see them raised in a place going back, hearkening back more to the way this country was founded. I vote according to what I believe in the Bible and how I'm led by the Holy Spirit. And I believe that we have fallen into a lot of principalities, powers, rulers of darkness that are corrupting this place right here. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie The Hunger Games, but it's a depiction, I believe, of what's happening right now. This place right here, just walking around it, you can see people are so far gone from what reality is outside of this place. They're so enamored with their own being and holding on to their own power that they've forgotten that they have, this is just a very small, very, very small ratio of what the country truly is. But I would like to see, even if no one, even if we lose, even if Trump loses, right? I'd like to see people be an awakening, even if we have to go through suffering in this nation and have people really kind of lose their minds over the evil. I'd like to see that open the eyes of their heart to realize who Jesus Christ truly is. Ephesians 1:17-19. Open the eyes of your heart to the kingdom. And even if like I came to the Lord through great suffering in my life, and if that's what we have to go through to open people's hearts, to have a revolution, to have revelation again, and it might have to happen.
My name is Jan Wind. My son has the same name, also Jan Wind. And we are from Holland. And we came here for a 6 days vacation. And we wanted to combine the vacation with the elections to see what's going on here. Very, very much mixed feelings. But to come completely in it, we went yesterday together to 2 rallies. We have seen in Reading, we have seen Trump. And afterwards we were in Philadelphia and we saw Kamala Harris. Well, I'll just say what I think, that Trump is a crazy guy. I mean, everything what he says, it is bizarre. So before the trip, we thought it's Kamala Harris. But now we are completely 100% sure that it's Kamala Harris, because we were 20 meters away from Trump in Reading, in the Santander Stadium, and we saw everything live ourselves. But Trump rally, there were all crazy people, fully dressed, completely, I think, under influence of Trump. Everything what Trump said to us, yes, 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 yes. But when we were there at a rally of Kamala Harris, we thought, well, these people are our people.
I'm Rodrigo, I'm from Brazil.
So what are your feelings as an international citizen about the upcoming election?
My feeling is that this election is going to be crucial for the future of the U.S. So far, the overall feeling in the city, it's quite tense, but I think it can be tense for the good as well.
So for the benefit of the United States, internationally, which candidate do you think would be the best candidate for the benefit of the United States?
Kamala Harris. Simply put, is because I think she has better ideas, a driven mindset that can push U.S. forward alongside of the other countries in the world.
If you were to give Kamala Harris a report card over the last 4 years as vice president, what would you grade her?
I'm not so sure how you grade her. It's a tough
What
question.
has she done that gives you the impression that she's going to turn the country around?
Well, I think as a VP, she's done a quite decent job over her power. I think she's done quite, as I said, as a good job overall. Historically speaking, I'm not very knowledgeable about her past, but from the things I know, I think her career has put her on the spot that she is now. So I think she's ready.
Can you think of any one thing that she's done that you can point to that she's done well?
I think her legacy in California proves that she's ready. Again, I'm not very knowledgeable about her, but at least the minimum that I know, I think she has proven over there in California that she's capable of carrying this country forward.
Can you give me one example of what she's done?
Unfortunately not, as I'm not from here. I'm just here for 2 years, and I don't have in-depth details of her.
We're out here at David's tent. We came and the Lord told me He's connected us all as we've just been going. And me and a lot of friends here, fellow brothers and sisters in Christ. And so just along the years, the Lord called me to Panama City Beach. I met the guy named John, third person off the Greyhound bus. And then we got connected with other people, and the Lord's just been doing it. Just whoever was saying, "Here I am, Lord, send me." Now it's a group of us. And we come and go together, move together. And sometimes we're all in one. Sometimes the Lord splits us up. But the Lord told me, He gave me a word from Sarasota that we were crossing the Jordan. And just like Joshua, and how Moses was promised the promised land, but they didn't obey God, and so they never got it. But Joshua, as God spoke to Joshua, that taking the land that was promised to their ancestors, and just like America was promised to our ancestors. And so we had an Exalt Jesus March and a big team from Dallas, Texas. So we came and met them in Dallas. Lord had me, He said, "I want you to declare and decree that the land is the Lord's and to blow the shofar." And you can see that in Jericho as well. So we were doing that, went down to San Antonio, did it there. And it was on I-35, so we looked up Isaiah 35, which is the highway of holiness. So we just believe in that for our nation. And as well, whenever we were coming back, we went ahead and did the capital. We declared and decreed that the land was the Lord's over the capital of Austin, Texas. Then we all moved as a unit from Dallas. We did it in Dallas, then Little Rock, Arkansas, Nashville, Tennessee, Richmond, Virginia, and DC. So that was all in a week's time of the traveling that we've done, and 2 hours, 3 hours of sleep and just going. And the group split. Some of us stayed here, the rest made a loop back to Dallas, going through the capitals of the rest of the states as they were headed back. And so now we're out here for the remainder of the week, and the door opened up to have a reservation here in David's tent, so we're praising and worshiping, and we were out preaching earlier, and tons of people. And so just preaching the gospel, and it won't return void, and just loving on people, great times of fellowship as well, and just seeing what God has in store. So that's what it is, just the daily life as a disciple, and He supernaturally provides. And I want you to know, if anybody's struggling with anything, He's blessed me and somebody else with a almost brand new vehicle, completely paid for. So if you're struggling with any kind of fear of the unknown or finances and stuff, He is our God who sees our needs and who provides, Jehovah Jireh. And time and time again through these 3 years of just laying it all down and following Him, He's been faithful, and He will not fail. He cannot fail, and you can't fail as long as you're following Him. And He loves you, and God bless you, and excited for what the Lord has. And we're believing for redemption for America, but most of all, following Jesus regardless. Hallelujah. Amen.
So now we actually have a ministry, and it's called Streetlights. And in that, what we do is we travel in our camper with our 3 boys, and we go all over the U.S., but Arizona is definitely the place that He has us right now. And what we're doing is we are linking arms with other churches. We're linking arms with believers. There's a whole culture called the New Age culture out in Arizona. They're worshiping the creation instead of the creator. And Jesus is meeting them without anybody even touching them. And so the Lord has put us there just in the right place, just at the right time, to be able to be the person that can just kind of lead them as they're just coming out of this completely dark culture. You would have told me 3 years ago, hey, Cody, you're going to be, you're going to have your own ministry, and you're going to be going to Arizona 4 or 5 different times. You're going to be traveling and sharing the gospel wherever you go. I would say you're crazy, but God. And He is so good, and He's been so merciful, and He has provided for us everywhere that we've been. We're here, we're from Maryland. That's actually our hometown. And our friends, all these people we have linked up with in different states, and they said, hey, we're going to be in DC at David's tent. And I said, I'll be there. And so we're actually going to be heading out to Arizona in about a week, actually. And this is like perfect timing, election night. We're here declaring that Jesus is Lord, Jesus is King. And no matter who's in the presidential office, no matter who is in that White House, we're going to be okay because He's in complete, total control.
I'm in between these 2 national monuments, standing at David's tent. And irregardless of who's elected president on November 5th, 2024, we have a king, and His name is King Jesus, and He still resides on the throne. And no matter what our nation faces, we can put our trust and our confidence fully in the Lord. And I just end the day with a tremendous spirit of gratitude. Thank you, everybody, for following us on our Washington, D.C. journey.
This is a breaking alert that has just moved on the AP wire. The Associated Press has called the presidency for Republican Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
It's a new day. It's a beautiful day. American first, all the time. So now, let's go to work.
Although we're happy, my friend. Hopefully the war will stop. Economy. That's it. I'm from a country called Eritrea. Grew up in New York City. All the way for Trump. I voted for him 3 times. So this is it.
I think it's a great thing. I think it's a great thing for your country, and I think it's a great thing for the world.
Today is November 6, 2024. And I am on my way to the nation's capital to get the reaction of American people to last night's election. Donald Trump was announced president, and so we are going to get the reactions of citizens here in Washington, D.C. I'm looking for people who can give me their response or reaction to last night's election results.
Oh, I didn't happen to see it.
Oh, you didn't know that Donald J. Trump won the election last night?
I didn't know. Honestly, I think I wasn't even surprised about it.
What do you think the response of the American people will be?
It's gonna be divided. Some of them gonna be happy, some of them not gonna be too happy. but I think everybody's gonna be having different opinions on it.
I'm upset for sure. It's hard to be living in this time with so many opinions, and it's honestly really exhausting. But I'm sad to see people prioritize things other than just humanity, and I think people's lives, honestly.
And what age demographic do you represent?
I'm 22. Yeah.
I'd love to get your reaction to last night's election results.
Nicole, sorry.
In the last night's election. What are your thoughts on last night's election results?
Oh, it was interesting though, can't complain about it.
Are you happy with the results?
Well, I went out there and voted, so that's all that matters.
Good morning, sir. I'd love to get your opinions on the results of last night's election. Hello, good morning, ma'am. I'd love to get your reaction to last night's election result.
I have no comment.
No comment. Are you happy with the results?
Glad it's over.
I think you and many of Americans are the same. Thank you for your time. Donald Trump won the election.
Man, that's kind of bad.
Tell me, do you care to elaborate on that?
He was a bad leader the first time. Well, put it this way: the people that they had him with, helping him out and stuff, the first time, not gonna be there. So, guys that they got him there now, if he was a bad leader the first time, he'll probably be a bad leader the second time.
Good morning. Would you care to give your reaction to last night's election results? Do you care to give your reaction to last night's election results? We're out getting people's first reaction to last night's election results. Do you care to share your opinion? You too, thank you. Do you care to share your reaction to last night's election results?
No comment, sorry.
Thanks, sir. Want to get your thoughts on last night's election results?
Who are you with?
Battle Worth Fighting podcast.
Battle Worth Fighting podcast. Is that a Republican, Democrat?
It's a faith-based podcast. We're just out getting the original response of Americans here in Washington, D.C.
It's unfortunate, and I'm disappointed. Disappointed with American voters.
Care to elaborate on that?
Thanks.
So obviously it didn't go according to the way you thought.
Oh, no. I knew it was going to go that way. Knew it was going to go that way. Disappointed with the results.
Thank you for your opinion. Appreciate you, sir. Do you care to share your thoughts on last night's election results? Thoughts and opinions on last night's election?
No, thanks. Good luck.
So we are having a really difficult time getting people's reactions to last night's election results. People had a lot to say yesterday, and it seems they're very quiet today. So hopefully somebody will give us an opinion or a thought of last night's election result. You and where are you from?
My name's Trish Northcutt. I'm from Virginia Beach, Virginia.
And we would love to get your immediate response the morning after the election.
Right now, I'm in shock. I'm completely disgusted with America. I mean, Donald Trump ran. I mean, that's his, that's what he does. But I cannot believe he won the popular vote and he won the election. I'm in shock. And, it's not going to affect me probably that much. But, you have to, everybody else that it's going to affect. I'm just waiting to see the fallout now.
So if you were to give Kamala Harris a report card over the last 4 years, what grade would you give her?
I couldn't give her a better report card. She clearly enunciated everything she was going to do, everything she had done, and I'm not saying she's perfect. She probably wasn't a perfect candidate. She could not have done better on her the run this time. She couldn't have done any better.
Can you give me one example that you can cite that she did that you're really happy with?
I think reaching out to a bunch of, just everybody, not just focusing on one group of people. She went all over the United States. You saw the rallies were packed. She was joyful. She was positive. She lifted everybody up, as opposed to Trump, who just tapped into the hatred in everybody. And I'm just disgusted with that.
Can you cite one policy that she did that you're really proud of?
No, not right off the bat. I can't think anything right off the bat. I just, like I said, she probably wasn't the perfect candidate, but she was a really good candidate. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't do that. I can't think of anything right off the bat. It's too early in the morning.
Thank you for your thoughts and opinion.
All right. Who are you with?
Battle Worth Fighting podcast.
Okay. All right. Thanks very much. Take care.
Reaction to last night's election results.
We're sad.
Care to elaborate on that?
It's disappointing. Feels like we took 20 steps back and we were hoping to take a giant leap forward. It's the best way to sum it up.
So what particularly, how do you feel you took a step back?
In women's rights, in democracy, in political representation. Yeah.
If you were to give Kamala Harris a report card over her last 4 years, what grade would you give her?
That's a good question. I've never had to quantify. Huh. I'd give her a B, which is better than I'd give former President Trump.
What policy can you specifically cite to give her that grade of a B that she's done over the last 4 years?
I'm not sure. Well, thank you.
Good morning. Care to give your thoughts on last night's election results?
You know, my thoughts are it was exciting to see another female candidate with this much momentum behind her this time. But some of the key issues that we all find this commonplace in as Americans, she kind of wasn't hitting it, the ball in that direction, in a baseball scenario, if you will. But, in Trump, I would say about Trump, as many things as there were on the table, as there is on the table, he tried to cover as many bases as he could, My own personal thoughts just coming down here to the National Mall is, to the victor come the spoils. And that's what it is. So, we all got to do our part to keep America great, So, no need of sitting on the sideline. It's time to jump into action.
Who are you and where are you from?
I'm a district resident, native Washingtonian, and, I'll leave it at that. When this is aired, broadcast, wherever, for the ones that are residents of the district, they recognize my face. They know who I am. So, but anyway.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Good morning, officers. Can we get your opinion on last night's election results? Care to share your response to last night's election result? You're the guy over at King David.
Yeah.
So we met last night, and so what is your response to last night's election result?
Well, since you mentioned David's tent, I got to keep it kingdom. If you didn't, I'd probably speak more for myself. Gratitude that our nation has an opportunity to live in righteousness and not wickedness. There's wicked policies that we're just on the other side. So, but apart from that, I'm grateful. The prayers of the saints were heard, and people are coming to their senses in this nation. which is a great thing to see. And so, yeah, that's all I got.
So tell me your involvement of how you got involved with David's Tent. That's an amazing experience.
Yes.
Last night, as I was able to pray with our nation on the nation's capital, it was incredible.
Yes.
How did you get involved in that?
Long story short, 2020, I was out here for a prayer march with Franklin Graham, stumbled up on the tent, and when I found out that it was here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, lifting up the name of the Lord Jesus Christ in our nation's capital, which I thought was wicked, it just moved my heart, and God opened up a door for me to come out here, and that's.
So is this a full-time ministry responsibility?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So you come here 7 days, 5 days a week?
6 days a week, 6 hours a day.
Hey, gentlemen, how are you? What are your responses to last night's election results? Any comments, concerns? Yeah, see that? It's interesting. See that? So I just had an amazing interaction with the Capitol Police. Asked them questions of what my legal rights as a U.S. citizen to record on Capitol property are. They were extremely gracious, extremely hospitable. They communicated to me that as long as I stay on grassy areas and sidewalks, that I have every legal right to do street interviews. As long as I do not use a tripod, I have every legal right to record in public space. So we love the hat you got there. And I knew this was going to be a polarizing topic, but it's even more charged than I had anticipated.
Yep.
God bless you guys.
I don't know if I'd wear that. Warner Session. I'm a resident of the District of Columbia and have been here for 45 years.
What were your thoughts and opinions on last night's election results?
Well, to be honest, I'm still trying to embrace and put my head around what happened last night, intellectually and emotionally. I'm a big Democratic supporter, so obviously it was a disappointing result for me. But a lot of other people who think like I do. But like I said, I'm still very much processing the data, what happened, and why it happened. So it's still a little bit fresh, trying to reconcile myself to why people went that way, supported Trump.
So if you were to give Kamala a grade, a report card grade, what grade would you have given her over the last 4 years?
I think well, first of all, let me say I thought she ran a superior campaign.
So what grade would you have given her?
For the campaign, I would have given her an A.
For her last 4 years in office?
It's hard to grade because the vice president is very much in the background. But if I were to grade her in conjunction with the Biden administration, I would give them a B+.
So what policy would you look to merit a B+ grade?
Well, it's first of all, the infrastructure dollars that came into the economy, that was, directly as a result of the Biden administration. Government contracting, minority and women business goals that were enhanced during that administration. So when you ask me to grade her, I'd have to, again, grade the administration because it's hard to single out specifically what a vice president does, but she supported him. She was there. She embraced many of the policies that he promoted.
So given the results, moving forward, what do you think's most needed today, the day after the election?
Well, I think everyone is going to have to, first of all, sort of figure out where they are emotionally. There's a lot of emotions that run high. I mean, it was a very contested election. People have very strong views. So clearly there's going to be some healing that's going to be necessary. And so I think it's just going to take some time. I think people are going to have to settle down and settle in and, be prepared for, what may be coming in the next 4 years.
What are you most looking forward to in the next 4 years?
Well, my hope is that, quite frankly, and I'm not very optimistic, but, I'm hoping that the new Trump administration is not as strident as everyone expects it to be. That there's some real intentionality to make sure that we're a more inclusive society. Economy is going to be important. Respect the well-being and interests of people who didn't support him. And I think that's what, certainly something I'm going to look forward to and work towards.
If you were a member of his administration, how would you bring unity among the party?
Well, first of all, I'd bring, diversity, different points of view into his administration. And I would certainly make a concerted effort to reach across the aisle, work with Democrats, and again, try to be an active listener and understand, where people are and what are the things that they want most. And that's all people.
Any final thoughts?
Well, while again, the results weren't the results that I had wanted, always remain hopeful. Time will tell. I think people of goodwill will ultimately determine, how we go forward as a country. Right now, I'm feeling quite frankly, a little jaded. But again, we'll need some time to pass, wait till the new administration comes in, and then see what happens.
What would help alleviate your feelings of feeling jaded?
Lower the rhetoric, talk, and I'm talking specifically about Trump, lower the rhetoric, talking more embracive terms, talk about, meet people where they are. That's what would be important to me.
I just wrapped up our Washington, D.C. tour. I'm on my drive to Western North Carolina for phase 2 of this trip. We're going to be doing a service project in Western Bernardsville, North Carolina. And as I look at this storm cloud and a little bit of glimmer of light shining through that storm, it's hard not to think that we just dodged a major storm.